Alright, everyone, and welcome back. If the Holy Grail War is a race, you have to do something to get ahead of the competition. That means the servants search for the enemy's hideout while the master use magic to set up traps. We can use that to our advantage. Lots of magical energy would be needed if either one does something. Even though I can't sense other magi, I can detect the lingering traces of their power. If we patrol the city looking for that, I'm sure we'll find some signs of the other masters. This is information I'll be getting by using myself as bait. I have no other method besides being bait, just like Kotomine said. We'll start the patrols tonight. Saber told me to stay at the house, but I refused, saying I would go with her. After a long, unproductive talk,
わかりました。では、必ず私と共に行動すると約束してください。夜中、一人では決して外に出ることはしないと誓えますか?
See, that I honestly think is a wise thing to do, and not to be separate from your servant, otherwise that's an easier way to possibly get killed. Saber finally accepted my point of view. Well, our course of action is decided, but there are two more problems.
シロ、先ほども説明しましたが、私は余分な魔力は使えません。今夜出陣を控えているのならなおさらです。
ああ、できる限り眠って魔力の消費を抑えるんだろ。俺からの魔力提供がないセイバーは自分だけで肉体を維持しなくちゃいけない。セイバーの1日の魔力回復量が8だとすると、肉体維持に必要な魔力は6で、余剰の2が貯められる貯金になる。通常の戦闘で消費する魔力はうまく温存すれば10ぐらいだっけ？
こちらが一度も傷を負わず、鎧を破損しない限りはそうです。ですが、同格な英霊相手ではそのようなことはありえません。四郎風に言うのなら、ランサーとの戦いに50、バーサーカーとの戦いに至っては200ほど魔力を消費しました。
She was pierced by Lancer and her stomach was slashed by Berserker. It makes sense for her to have used a lot of magical energy to heal those wounds. It makes sense, but...
肉体の治癒にはそう魔力を使いません。むしろ破壊された鎧の修復の方が大きい。私の魔力はその大半を守りに固定していますから。
That's how it is, according to her.
鎧も体の一部なんだっけ？肉体の維持と鎧の維持は同意なわけだ。鎧を脱いでいるのは魔力の維持のためなんだよな。
はい。ですが、他のサーバントにその必要はないでしょう。私は霊体になれないので武装を解除するしかありませんが、ランサーやアーチャーは非戦闘時に霊体になることでマスターへの負担を減らしているはずです。
なるほどなるほど。下ごしらえはこんなんでいいかな？
シロ、食事を用意してもらえるのは助かりますが、少々緊張感に欠けるとは思いませんか？
ね、いやそんなことはないけど。
I don't, but soon my sense of urgency disappeared. I was surprised when Saber told me about her condition after our strategy meeting. As I don't provide her with magical energy, she has her hands full with maintaining her body. I tried to change our course of action, saying that it should be impossible for her to fight in that condition, but...
なあセイバー、もう一度聞くけど、お前の今の魔力量っていくらだっけ？
四郎風に言うのなら1000ほどですが。
So it's something ridiculous like that. She said she spent about 200 against Berserker, but she still has that much magical energy remaining. And she says it's not full. It's scary to think how much magical energy she would have had with a proper master. Her capacity is way beyond human, and I stopped stupidly thinking how many times more of my magical energy it would take to fill her up. I finally understand why Tosaka called Saber the most superior servant.
そりゃ緊張感もなくなる。敵は6人しかいないってのに、そんだけの魔力があれば怖いものなしじゃないか。
それはただ戦うだけの場合です。 先ほども言いましたが、宝具の使用には莫大な魔力を必要とします。今の私では宝具の使用は厳しい。そのために少しでも魔力を温存しなくてはならないのです。
Saber's mad. I can't tell if she's mad at me for being a burden or because I'm keeping her here when she has to sleep.
魔力の温存は分かったよ。けど人間食事も大切だろ。昼は余り物で済ませちまったから夕飯はちゃんと食べてくれ。寝るのはその後でいいじゃないか。
いいでしょう。元より私もたやすく宝具を使う気はありません。この話はあなたがもう少しサーバントというものを実感してからにします。
Saber says this in a dissatisfied manner and takes a seat. Good. She might complain, but she always listens to me. So the problem of conserving magical energy is settled now. In the first place, it's not something we can do anything about, and the only way to help ourselves is to get better understanding of our current situation. So...
しかしシロ、先ほど問題が2つあると言いましたが、あと1つは何なのですか？
ああ、もうすぐ来る。口裏はさっき合わせた通りにやってくれ。
I cut some white radishes and put them into the saucepan. Saber tilts her head in confusion. There.
ただいまー。シロ、晩ご飯作ってるかな？
And so it begins.
お邪魔します先輩。
I hear the usual voices from the entrance. The silence is painful. It's only natural. Fujina and Sakura are confused and they're looking at me for an explanation.
今日からうちに下宿することになったセイバーだ。よろしくしてやってくれ。
You know, the fact that he's calling her Saber, I know that that's what she goes by, but he couldn't think of any other name. Makes it so that's less subtle than it is. And Sakura already knows the situation. She's just being real smart about it. Very tactful. It's been 10 minutes since that was my explanation to them. This lack of protest feels awkward. I almost said something else. I want to take a sip of tea, but I feel like the sound of it would echo through the room, so the hot tea sits there untouched. But sitting here won't solve anything. I have to move forward with courage.
とにかく親父を訪ねてきたんだから帰ってもらうわけにはいかないだろ。観光に来ただけだからそう長くは滞在しないっていうし、離れを使ってもらうから問題ないと思うし。
The silence continues. By the way, I can understand why Sakura and Fujine are quiet, but why is Saber looking so surprised?
まあ、桐次さんの知り合いなら仕方ないか。外国に親戚がいるとか言ってたし、セイバーさんもしっかりしているようだし、私は反対できないかな。
藤村先生、それは。
ごめんね。さくらちゃんの気持ちはわかるけど、ここは桐次さんの家だから。それにさ、外国からここを頼りにしてきた子をほっぽり出したら日本の恥でしょ。そうでなくとも最近は物騒なんだから、こんな可愛い子を追い出せないわよ。
それはそうですけど、先輩はそれでいいんですか？
ああ、元からそのつもりだ。セイバーにはしばらくうちにいてもらう。さくらはセイバーが下宿するのは反対か？
いえ、お知り合いの方が住むのはいいと思います。けど、そのセイバーって。
まあ変わった名前だろ。名前通り不愛想だけどいいやつなのは保証する。あんまり日本に慣れてないんでおかしなところもあるけど、さくらが教えてくれると助かる。
先輩がそう言うならいいです。
Is she nervous because Saber's a foreigner? Sakura nods while looking away from her. So it's dinner time. I put extra effort into the dinner to welcome Saber and to make up for lunch. I began by preparing minced bonito salad, then fried chicken with a zesty spring onion sauce, a classic meat and potato stew, and to top it all off, a variety of tempura including shrimp. I went all out on this meal to the point that the variety of dishes is downright sinful, but it's not popular with the main guest and my pupil.
うわ、何この天ぷら。中がホクホクで美味しいとかいう話じゃないよ。どうしてくれるのよ、シロ。私普通のエビさん見直しちゃった。
Well, it's all good since Fujin is enjoying it enough for the four of us. Dinner ends without trouble thanks to her. I don't know what happened, but Fujine gave some of her food to Saber. I guess Fujine likes Saber because she's quiet. Saber and Fujine left to prepare Saber's room. And Sakura and I clean up after dinner. Well, there's nothing wrong with that because it's part of the usual chores.
食器は俺が洗うから、さくらはテーブル周りを頼む。と、天ぷら油はまだ捨てなくていい。蓋して奥にしまってくれ。重いけど大丈夫か？
大丈夫ですよ。私こう見えても力持ちなんですから。
She picks up the pot of oil. Good, so since she does archery, they need to worry.
まあ、弓だって力だけで引くわけじゃないけどな。
I wash the dishes. Then,
あれ、先輩、タオルが減ってますよ。ペーパータオルも空っぽだし、いつもと食器の置き場所も違ってます。
どれどれ？あって、ほんとだ。なんだろう、泥棒でも入ったのか？
タオル専門の窃盗犯というのは難しいですね。
だな。そんな泥棒は泥棒じゃない。
the plates have been moved around. The paper towels are gone. Some towels are missing. According to these clues,
そうか。遠坂がいたんだ。
I remember now. Tosaka was the one who treated me after that incident with Berserker. I'm pretty sure that she used the paper towels during my treatment.
先輩、遠坂って遠坂先輩のことですか？
ああ、ちょっとした縁で家に上がってもらったんだ。つまんないドジで怪我しちまってさ、偶然通りがかった遠坂が親切にも手当てしてくれたんだよ。さすが我が校の誇る優等生、慈愛に満ちてるってもんだ。
I don't mean the last half, of course. My school's proud honor student died last night. It's highly regrettable, but the image of Tosaka Rin as an honor student died inside of me.
どうして遠坂先輩がここに来るんですか？そんなのおかしいです。だって全然関係ない。ここにいるのは私で、先輩とあの人は全然関係ないのに、どうして？
Sakura hangs her head and tries to control herself. I'm at a loss for words at this sudden event. She hugs herself tightly as if enduring some uneasiness. The lights disappear. It's 11 o'clock. We waited until the town fell asleep before we went outside.
ではシロ、とりあえずこの町の中心に向かうのですか？
Sakura's state didn't change after dinner's cleanup. If anything, it got worse. She lost all her energy and was absent-minded as if she had a fever. And on top of that, she didn't want me to walk her home, so Fujine had to take her.
それともあちらの町に行ってみますか？他のマスターが潜んでいる可能性はあちらの方が高そうですが。
Come to think of it, Sakura was acting strange the day before yesterday as well. She looked downcast and seemed afraid of something.
シロ、もし聞いているのですか？シロ、 今夜の方針を聞いているのです。
I raised my head in surprise. Saber is right in front of me, looking angry.
すまん、気が緩んでた。これからどうするかだな、セイバー。
分かっているのなら繰り返す必要はありませんね。どちらの町にも言えることですが、地脈の流れにわずかな支障が起きています。他のマスターが行動を起こしているのは間違いないでしょう。選択次第では今夜中に一人減らせる。
いきなりマスターと戦うかもしれないってことか。けどもし相手があの子だったらどうするんだ。バーサーカーには勝てないんじゃないのか。
マスター、今の私は万全です。魔力提供がないとはいえ、5体満足ならばオイソルと敗れることはありません。まあ相手がイリアスピールの場合のみ撤退することになるでしょう。バーサーカーの宝具が何であるか、それを見極めるまでこちらも宝具は使えませんから。
The only one Saber's cautious of is Berserker. She does not talk about other possibilities, such as when we might encounter Tosaka. For Saber, Tosaka is merely an enemy she must defeat. But to me, masters are people we have to stop, not kill.
セイバー、確認するが、マスターとサーバントが降伏した時は戦いをやめる。俺の方針はレイジを使い切らせてマスターでなくすことだ。本当にそれでいいな。
分かっています。ですがシロ、敵がこちらの申し出を受け入れないのであれば、その時は。
ああ、その時は聖杯戦争のルールに従う。マスターとして戦う以上、その終わりは受け入れているはずだ。
We start descending the hill. We can patrol this town of Shinto. Tonight, we will. Secure the neighborhood, go to Shinto, we're gonna save. I think secure the neighborhood.
今夜はこっちを見て回る。ここのところ様子がおかしいし、足元を救われる前に調べてみよう。
同感です。目に見えてわかるような異常はないでしょうが、丁寧に見回れば手がかりは得られるはずです。
Yeah, we'll look around the residential district over here first. We'll go down to the intersection after that and patrol the other side of town. If we can't find anything wrong, we can go to Shinto to go look for some clues. We patrol the residential district and make our way to the intersection. There wasn't anything wrong with our side of the town. We can now go to the hill with the western style houses and maybe even go as far as the Ryudo Temple. A sudden chill runs up my spine.
セイバー、これ。
She must have felt it more clearly as she looks over towards Shinto. The presence I felt starts to fade, but I'm sure I heard a scream and felt a strong wave of magical energy. I knew it. This is what I hoped would happen. So why is my mind paralyzed? I was prepared to fight. After I almost died, my hesitation vanished. But now my body will not move and my head would not give any orders. It's probably too sudden. I didn't expect to find it on the first day. That's why I can't move. I'm used to getting attacked, but I'm not used to doing the attacking. That's stupid of me. If I'm getting killed, but I never thought that I might have to do it myself.
悲鳴が止みました。感じ取れる気配も消えかけています。何が起きたかは分かりませんが、このままでは襲われた者は助からないでしょう。
That erases everything. The numbness throughout my body disappears. The fear that I might kill is overridden by the fear that I might let someone die.
すまん、セイバー。
I apologize for my cowardice and start to run full speed. We run to the origin of the screen where we will fight someone to the death. I'm not prepared at all. My limbs are shaking. It's a normal reaction. This fear will always be there as long as I don't desire the Holy Grail and the will to fight.
なんて間抜けだ。 大バカ野郎が。
That's right. If I have a reason to fight, I must believe in it. If my enemies are aiming their minds with the desire for the Holy Grail, I must defeat this fear with the desire to stop all conflicts. I run to the park. The magical energy emitted is strong and ominous. It's like oil polluting a clean stream. Even I can feel energy this thick. Saber stops. She has analyzed the situation before me. My body trembles. My head loses its cool and fills with disgust and hatred. It's like seeing vampires in stories. A woman in black has her mouth on an unconscious woman's neck. The dripping blood is excessively fresh. That thing is eating a human being. I don't mean that it's eating the human flesh. That woman in black is sucking out what's inside the woman, things like her mind and her memory. The unconscious woman does not move at all. Her skin is like grave wax. She looks like she's been turned into a doll. My throat can't move. It's not that I'm surprised the vampiric woman is a servant. My eyes focus behind her, on a clear figure that is watching over the woman in black.
へえ、誰かと思えばエミヤじゃないか。すごいな。お前の間の悪さもここまで来ると長所だね。
シンジ、お前。
My mind is numb. I can't grasp the situation. I can't make the correct decision. Why is he here? What is that book in his hand? How can he laugh when there's a woman that's about to die? Why is such a ridiculous thing taking place before my eyes?
どうした？何固まってるんだエミヤ。サーバントの気配を嗅ぎつけてやってきたんだろ？ならもっとちゃんとしろよ。一応さ、バカなお前にも分かりやすいように演出してやったんだぜ。
He doesn't sound like the Shinji I know. His voice is high-pitched. Just hearing it makes me uncomfortable.
殺したのか、お前。
I clench my fists. I don't even take notice of the servant standing right there before me. My mind is frozen. I should be fleeing in terror from this inhumanely powerful being, but I feel no fear. My mind is about to explode.
はあ？殺したのかって。バカだねお前。サーバントの餌は人間だろ？なら結果は一つじゃないか。まあ僕もどうかと思うけど仕方ないだろ。こいつらは生しか口に合わないってんだ。サーバントを維持するには魔力を与え続けるしかない。お前だって手頃な獲物を探してたんじゃないの
？I don't know what's funny, but Shinji laughs. The servant in black does not move. She is like a trained war dog. She will not move on her own. Like a puppet, she will not move without orders from her master. But she will turn into a murderous devil once the order is given.
どけ。
I say this with the hound in front of me. There's no time to waste. That woman might survive if I hurry.
はあ？どけって何さ？それもしかして僕に言ってるのかいエミヤ。はっ、お断りだね。食い残しが欲しいんなら手を出せよ。それはお前の使い魔だろ。
シンジ。
ほら戦わせてみようぜエミヤ。僕はサーバント同士の戦いが見たくて人を呼んだんだ。お前だってマスターだろ。なのにブルブル震えてさ。そんなんじゃそこの女と変わらないじゃないか。
引く気はないんだな、シンジ。
しつこいな。どかしたかったら力ずくでやれよ。もっとも震えてる分には構わないぜ。どのみちお前にはここで痛い目に遭ってもらうんだからね。
Shinji's eyes light up with hatred. That must have been the order as the servant in black jumps forward and...
出ます。白は後ろに。
Saber moves to meet the attack of the servant in black. The two shadows collide. Having armed herself immediately, Saber uses her invisible sword against her opponent. The sound of clashing steel rings out. Saber readies herself firmly on the ground, in contrast to the servant in black who runs through the park. Saber cannot keep up with the speed and goes into defense. Her long hair fluttering behind her, the enemy closes in as if to corner their slow prey.
なんだ、ただのデクノボーじゃないか。マスターが三流ならサーバントも三流だったな。
Standing away from the fight like me, Shinji laughs. I don't know how he became a master, but it seems he's not a very talented magus. Shinji does not provide his servant with any support. Then he must have become a master by chance like me. Saber blocks another attack and stops. She looks troubled. She glares in irritation at her lightning-fast enemy.
いいよ、構わないから決めちゃえライダー。じいさんの言いつけは守ったんだ。エミヤのサーバントを始末するぐらい不可抗力さ。
The black shadow speeds up. The servant in black follows her master's orders, speeds up to cut Saber's neck, and is sliced in half. The match is decided in an instant. Saber's sword cuts Ryder's body and the servant in black is blown away. It was like hitting a sandbag with a bat. Saber is the batter and the blown sandbag is Ryder, of course. The mood changes. Shinji blankly stares at Ryder, who is wounded.
嘘だろ。
And I blankly stare at Saber, who puts away her sword disinterestedly.
なんだよ。何やってんだよ、お前。
He scorns his servant. Shinji yells without running over to his servant, who has her belly sliced open.
誰がやられていいなんて言ったんだ。信じられない。こんなの命令違反だ。この僕がマスターになってやったのに、エミヤのサーバントなんかにやられやがって。
Ryder strenuously raises her body in a pool of her own blood. But she cannot get up. Her wound is fatal. Even though she is a servant, she will die if she is not treated soon.
このさっさと立って戦え死人。どうせ生きてないんだ。傷なんてどうでもいいんだろう。もう何グズグズしてるんだよこのクズ。恥かかせやがって。これじゃあ僕の方が弱いみたいじゃないか。
Shinji curses Ryder, but Saber is unable to bear it.
ライダーを攻める前に自身を攻めるがいい。いかに優れた英霊であろうと、主に恵まれなければ進化を発揮できないのだからな。
バカ、早く立てって言ってるだろ。マスターを守るのがお前たちの役割なんだ。勝てないんなら体を張って食い止めろよな。
言っておくが、それも無駄だ。レイジを使ったところで貴様にライダーは直せない。死にかけのライダーをレイジで酷使したところで私を防ぐ盾にもなるまい。ここまでだ、ライダーのマスター。我が主の言葉に従い、聞きたくはないが降伏の意志を尋ねる。レイジを破棄し敗北を認めるか。
うるさい。化け物が偉そうに命令するな。立てライダー、お前の主人は僕だろ。犬のくせに主人の言いつけが聞けないってのか。
Sparks are flying around. It must be because she cannot follow Shinji's orders, as pallid electric charges are tormenting her. What a vicious cycle. Ryder cannot fight anymore. But Shinji is condemning her for not being able to get up, despite the fact that her injuries are getting worse and her life is draining away. Saber reaches out for Shinji.
立て、動けライダー。どうせ死ぬんならこいつを道連れにして消えやがれ。
Ryder reacts to Shinji's orders. Ryder's body moves to follow the order that has her death as its premise. But then,
そこまでだ。どうやらお前では宝の持ち腐れだったようじゃな、シンジ。
The voice of an old man interrupts.